Hi, happy Valentine's Day. So I was just out checking on a rental property that we have, and we recently had to evict this particular tenant from this unit, and that was quite a process. But I've gotten a lot of questions recently about just having rentals and being a landlord and property management, and is it worth doing it, and how do I feel about doing it, how difficult is it to manage your own properties. So I thought I would just talk a little bit about that and kind of the pros and cons maybe, and what that looks like. So we've had rentals for about 8 years ish, and we've always been really lucky with who we've rented to. We've never used a property manager until just a couple months ago, actually, for this particular troublemaker. But we've always been really lucky. So I have not really had a lot of issues. I feel like our most, other than finding renters, I feel like the most time that has been spent like physically and mentally is cleaning the rentals when there's a move out. So people leaving trash behind, that can get pretty costly to clean up, or just cleaning the place in general. I mean, some people are amazing and they will leave the place spotless. Other people will leave tons of trash behind, and there'll be animal urine or whatever all over the place that you have to clean up or repaint because of that. So I find that that's probably, that's just something you have to be mentally prepared for when you have rentals. And if you don't have the extra money to pay someone to do it, just be prepared that when someone moves out, you're gonna have to go in and paint and clean up garbage and take it to the dump. Gosh, what's the other? So we use Zillow Rentals most of the time to get applications, and that seems to work really well for us because they can just kind of apply, and we can do the background check and everything through that. So that's who we use for that platform. That's who we use when we get applications for rentals. One of the negatives is obviously if, God forbid, you have to evict someone. We most recently had to do that because of non-payment, and it's a really sucky situation to have to be in, especially if you're like me and you are an empath and you just see the best in people, and you know their story and you just want to help. But it does, you have to have that mindset of separation between business and personal stuff. And I think that's where a property manager is really helpful, because if you are like me and you're sensitive and emotional, then that kind of helps just take away that aspect for you, so that you don't have to deal with move-ins and move-outs and getting to know them and talking to them on a daily basis. And so that's a big one too. So the eviction process I can talk about if anyone has questions about that. I'm not an expert, but I can give you just kind of the rundown of how our situation went and how we went about it, and the outcome. So anyway, that's just kind of a couple things. I would say the pros are obviously extra cash flow every month. Real estate is just only becoming more valuable. So you buy a fixer, you put a little bit of sweat equity into it, you rent it out, you have that, your mortgage is going to be covered. But it's a long-term investment. So there's a lot of ways too, like Taylor and I are just figuring out how to take equity from our current rentals and turn it into more units. So there's a lot that can be done to just build your wealth, and that's a huge positive. So just having extra passive income is totally worth it for us. If you guys have more questions, please reach out. I would love to talk about it. I could volunteer my husband to talk about it because he knows a lot about all this too. He kind of runs the show financially in our family. So yeah, I hope y'all have a great day and enjoy the weekend.